Today we are going to look at how to solve quadratic equations. Typical quadratic equation should be in this form before you can solve it in various ways. An example of this would be throwing something up in the air at the rate of 64 feet per second. And as you know, gravity is all around us. As soon as you release the ball, thanks to Galileo, he discovered that the gravity will pull down this object at the rate of 16 feet per second squared. So the distance where the ball is going to go after you throw it up with this velocity, after a certain amount of time, we want to know when will this rock or object be at 48 feet off the ground. So just a simple example where you can solve by solve the quadratic equation by factoring. So this is the form that you have to have it in before you do the factoring. So look at this. This is not equal to 0, so we're going to subtract 48, both sides, and that'll give us 0. So I like to move this over here. Have t squares on the left foremost, and t, and then minus 48. So I've rewritten this equation in this form that mimics the form that I like, in order so I can solve it by factoring if possible, if not, and by quadratic formula. So now I can actually multiply this both sides by -1. When I multiply by -1, 0 is still going to be 0, but then I'm going to turn this into a positive. Alright? And this makes my life easier to factor. Multiplying both sides by -1. If you want to, I can show you that. And that will be this. And then, greatest common factor, I'm going to see if I can factor out the 16. That'll give me 2 squared. That'll be 4t. And that'll be 3. Now, this becomes a very easy quadratic formula to solve by factoring both sides, t, and there's no other choice but have 3 and 1. Notice, you've got to have a -3 times -1, give you a positive 3, and -1 and -3 is -4. So this number wouldn't matter, because once we get it to be 0 or the 0, the equation will be true. So as any student studying this would know, the answer will be t equals 3 seconds and t equals 1 second. Okay? So, at 3 seconds, you're going to have, okay, we're just going to double check, is this a true statement? Well, 3 times 64 is going to be 192. 3 squared is 9. 9 times 16, 144. And sure enough, 192 minus 144 is 48. Now what about when t is 1 second? So this is easier. T is 1. So we put 1. Of course, 64 times 1 is 64. Minus 16 times 1 is 16. 64 minus 16 is 48. So these are the two answers. So you might ask, why you have two answers? Well, when you throw the rock up, in 1 second it's going to reach 48 feet. But But then when it comes back down, it's going to reach 48 feet again. That's why you have two answers, 1 second and 3 seconds. Because an object that's thrown into the air usually follow a parabolic trajectory. You're going to have two of the same y values. In this case, the height where the object is going to go through. Thank you.